Well, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda. I think I have finally gotten the lighting figured out, but I have not gotten the heat in Alabama figured out. So I am very hot. Anyway, I needed to talk about how the first week of August went and how the Buzzwordathon, whatever, did not quite go as I planned. So first of all, I wanted to read these 4 things: The Pit and the Pendulum, Black Mad Wheel, Chains, and The Safe. And I knew that I was going to be driving and traveling twice during the first 7 days, once to get to my parents' house and once to get back. So I didn't have any of them on audio. I was able to find Black Mad Wheel from my library, which is why that one got read, and The Pit and the Pendulum got read as well, because I read that on August 1st. The other 2, Chains and The Safe, did not. That does not mean that I'm not going to finish them this month, because I am. I just didn't finish in the first 7 days like I wanted to. So let's talk first about Black Mad Wheel by Josh Malerman. This was like some kind of really weird, trippy, I don't know. It just did not feel, it definitely was not a cohesive story from beginning to end. So it was about a army band. So these guys who were already friends and had formed a band joined the army to be in the army band in World War II. I'm pretty sure that it's World War II. I'm not going to go back in here and look, but previously in a war, this band had been part of the army band. And at the very beginning, the very first chapter, we find our main character has woken up from a coma and every single bone in his body is broken. And then the rest of the book is discovering how and why that happened. All he knows is that the army, all we know is that the army came back to them years later after they had already left the army and asked them to go investigate a sound that was happening in the desert in Africa. And since they're musicians, they were equipped to hear the sound and understand or try to figure out what it was and where it was coming from. So that's who they picked to go do it. So that is what this is about. But all of the twists and the turns and the who is where and what is real and what is not real, and there's so many things that this book twists around. I really enjoyed it. It's the first thing that I have read by him, and I know that he wrote Bird Box, and I was so scared because that looked like a really scary movie, so I was scared to read the book. Well, now I'm definitely going to read the book. I'm sitting in an air-conditioned house, and I am burning up. Anyway, I'm going to read Bird Box. The Pit and the Pendulum. I put this as my childhood read because when I was a little kid, as I explained in my August TBR, someone came to our classroom and read this story to us. First of all, I had no idea that it took place during the Spanish Inquisition. And the more I read, the more I was like, wow, I remembered very little about this story from the first time I read it. And I mean, it's really short. So if any of y'all want just a really creepy look at human deprivation, I guess, it was just so this guy is stuck in a pit that has a pendulum in it. And he is writing us the story of what happened. So I thought, well, if he's writing it, surely he lived. And then I thought, well, I mean, he doesn't have to. Nothing about Edgar Allan Poe screams, this is real life. So you just have to read it to find out. I'm not going to tell you, but I highly recommend this story. Now, the reason I didn't read Chains and The Safe is because I got to my parents' house. I got to see my son that is getting ready to go to college. And I was so excited. We had a lot of fun for the first 2 days. And then he started feeling a little bit bad that night. And he tested positive for COVID the next day. So we quarantined for the next 2 days. And I should have been able to read, right? But something happens with your mind in quarantine, I guess, or something happens when your child is sick, and I just could not focus on what I was reading. So I just did a lot of playing The Sims, and I did a lot of editing. I mean, I edited a ton of videos for other channels, not for this one, because I didn't have anything for this one. So that's what happened. And that's why I did not finish those. However, I am going to finish them because they are both books that I want to read, of course. And one of them, The Safe and Maybe Chains. Oh, I think they're both included on my Aurelium books. So I'm for sure going to finish them. I am loving The Safe. I'm further along in that one. I'm about halfway through. It is so good. I cannot wait to talk about it with y'all. And then Chains, I'm at the very beginning. I just started, but where I am, it's 1776. And this girl's was a slave in Rhode Island. She and her little sister were slaves in Rhode Island, and the woman who owned them had signed a will saying that when she died they would be freed. Well, the lawyer has gone to Boston to do war things, and so nobody believes them, nobody believes her, that they are supposed to be free. So the nephew of the woman who passed away comes and takes them, and he's like, I'm going to sell y'all, and just goes off. So that's all I know right now. I've only read a little bit at the beginning. So I think I'm going to focus on The Safe. I'm going to finish that one, and then I'll read, and then I'll start on Chains. And that's it. That's how Buzzwordathon went. So I guess technically I did do two books. I read a book about a wheel and a book about a pit. And actually, I don't know that it has a wheel in it. It's more a book about a sound. The sound. So I want to know if any of you guys do the Buzzwordathon and how you do it. I think I'm going to do this for the rest of the year. I'm going to take the first 7 days of every month and just see how many of the Buzzword books that I can finish in 7 days. Hopefully the rest of the months will go better than this one. I have my last day of quarantine is today, and unless profuse sweating is a symptom, I'm feeling really good. So I think that maybe I didn't get it. My son, by the way, feels much better. I mean, really all he had was just a few symptoms, so he's okay. But he's more worried about the fact that he's trapped in his house and can't visit with anybody. So anyway, I want to know what you guys do about the Buzzwordathon, or if you even do it. I will link everything below for it. It was started by Kayla at Books and Lala, and I don't even know if she does it anymore. I think she kind of started it, and now it's taken on a life of its own. So I'll put a link to whatever I can find for it. I know there's all kind of stuff. There's even a Goodreads page about it. There's all kind of stuff. So I will link that below, and I'll just see you guys in my next video. Bye.